Hey everyone, this video is specifically for people who are living in states like California, New York, Illinois, Florida, and trying to get investment properties in the local markets. I will break down how you can steal cash flow as opposed to the properties in the Midwest. That's pretty much where everybody's investing. If you read this book called Blue Ocean Strategy, it pretty much tells you that the real money, the real fish is where most people are not going. Like if you go to the Midwest, pretty much every second or third investor in America, it's pretty competitive on the good properties. Of course, you can get like some deals that would make you a small cash flow, like 300, 400 bucks a month. For the bigger, really cash flowing properties, most of the time, you will have a hard time going and getting those. So I decided to make a video explaining how I invest in the states that no one trying to invest, states where the properties are super expensive, and still manage to make a cash flow. It's going to be pretty basic. I call it a hybrid investment or hybrid of property management. Say, I will tell you the real life example. You buy a property that worth somewhere around, I want to say 1.2 million. That's average price here now in California. Say that kind of property, you put 20% down, which is going to make somewhere around 300,000. I'm talking about investment loan. This is not a primary residence loans. The rates are somewhere around 7% right now, or maybe a little higher, 7 to 8%, let's say. This type of property would probably be ending up paying, you would end up paying somewhere around $7,686 per month. That's going to be your monthly payment. If you would put it to the traditional rentals, you would probably make somewhere, I'm talking about the properties at around 2,000 up to 3,000 square feet. You can rent them somewhere like 5K maybe. That was a traditional renter. There would not be a profit. You would be pretty much losing money. You would lose around 2,600 bucks a month. That's how like normal operators think, unless of course you're buying cash. I, on the other end, can make somewhere between 10 to, I want to say 15K a month. Personally, also, that's very important, guys. I strongly advise to invest in the multifamily, because for that price, for 1.2 million, you actually can buy decent multifamilies in areas like Santa Ana, some parts of Corona, even in some decent neighborhoods. It shouldn't be like a C-class neighborhood. What happens is, with the way we operate the property, you end up cash flowing somewhere around, I want to say 8 to 9K on that same property. Almost triple your money. All know, of course, that the properties appreciate by the time. What happens is your monthly payment would go down. Eventually, that's actually the strategy that traditional guys are depending on. They depend that the monthly payment will fall out, like slash out, when the rates will go down, when the property would be worth more, somewhere around this number, 5K, and they will end up eventually after 10-15 years just profiting from that property. Or they can just have it as an investment and then resell someday. What I'm saying is you can have significant cash flow. Again, the properties that people are buying in Midwest, you can go and join this Facebook groups where they advertise. The cash flow about 800 bucks, it's considered a nice cash flow. This is what we make, guys. So how we make it? I want to say 5 to 6 ways of the renting property. First is the short-term to medium-term rentals. Now, there are many cities that are not allowing this right now. Many cities demand you to rent your place more than 30 days. For the short or medium-term rentals, like platforms, online platforms, you can go and rent your property. Second one is insurance housing. You go to the companies that work with insurance companies, offer them your properties. We have an advantage with insurance housing companies. Why? Because if you say you want to have a one property, two property, it's really hard to work with them, because what happens is they have pretty much one person taking all calls, all inquiries all over a certain region. Most of the time it's either Southern California or Northern California, or say some area around the Dallas or random place. Those guys are not looking specifically in one neighborhood, or they are looking in a certain, and they needed 2 different properties in 2 different zip codes. This play we come very useful because we have the properties all around and they can just communicate with one person instead of communicating with 10 different guys. Third way we do is the relocation companies. You can just Google them. With relocation companies, they would not have a constant flow. This is something that might work like once, 2 times, 3 times a year, but it would not have your property full if you will work with only with those guys. Number 4 is transitional housing. This takes about 50% of all my portfolio right now. It's a refugees, displaced person, people who are needing in the temporary housing. Most of the time it's either non-profits or the governmental organizations you could work with and have very good cash flow with this one too. And number 5 is a corporate housing. Most of the time when saying corporate housing, people think about the suit and tie guys, but in reality it's not actually even close. Corporate housing are people that working in a certain area. Most of the time is blue collar workers that are brought from other state. Especially in California, we have lots of Texas guys that are in need of the housing, and we place those guys in the houses. It's win-win situation because most of the time they either go to the hotel, medium sort of hotel, like a little higher than a Motel 6, but still not very best hotels, and they pay a premium while not having anything. Like it's just one room, nothing special in that room, probably 300 square. In our case, they get a house or their property fully equipped, everything included. They get a real house. And they almost all the time even pay less. So that's why it's win-win situation. Now, of course, if you are starting your operations, you are real tight on funds, you can do it yourself. That's how I start personally. However, if you are an investor, portfolio investor, or you are a doctor, a lawyer, someone who's just starting and investing, trust me, you would not be able to run all these things on your own. You have to have team in place. By the way, I apologize for my writing. I know it's horrible. What our team is consisting of, we have a cleaners, we have a maintenance person, we have a security guy who checks, if everything is okay, because you can get random people staying in random properties. You want to make sure that everything is fine. And this is crucial. We have a call center / customer service operators that are pretty much 24/7 are online to address any issue that might be coming. And also number 5, I'm going to hire a person that will do the quality control. This is crucial because properties, although they are getting the less damage with medium or short term, they still get damaged, especially the furniture, the sofas are the thing. That's the main thing that gets like a worse damage because people constantly obviously sitting on them. If you have like portfolio like more than 5 properties, trust me, you would not be able to control all of them. You would need to either dedicate a specific time or have a dedicated person that will go control all these properties. Anyways, if you guys find the value in this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I see you on the next one. Have a good one.